Have you ever woken up after a really, really great night and thought, shit, did I say that? Did that really happen? So you turn to your text messages, try to piece the night together. Now imagine living your life like that every single day, because you don't really trust your brain, and it's your memories and the conversations and the thoughts that you've had, you're not really sure if it really happened. Hold on to that feeling. My mom is one of the most vibrant women I've ever met in my entire life. For as long as I can remember, she's always been the first one to dance at any occasion. How can you just sit there when there's music playing, she would ask me. She taught me how to read and write when I was 4 because she loved literature so much that she wanted me to have the same love. That would later become my savior in life as I battled through my own demons. But there was a dark side to my childhood. One of my very first memories involves my grandmother's bathtub, the faucet, my forehead, my mom holding my head, screaming at me, and her sisters yelling at her, telling her to let me go. I was 6 the first time I attempted suicide. A handful of grandma's pills, being rushed to the neighborhood clinic, the tube going down my throat so my stomach could be pumped out. I was 17 when I realized that my mom suffers from paranoid schizophrenia. The scene again, my grandmother's apartment, only this time it was my grandmother who was yelling. See, my grandmother was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and that morning she hadn't taken her pills. So this was a really, really bad day. Her screams echoing throughout the neighborhood, frosted glass shattered across the hardwood floor. But see, for me, this was deja vu. This was my mom every day, conversations that she would have with people who weren't in the room. So I tried to show my family, and I tried to be like, look at the pieces, and they didn't, so I was all alone. So I withdrew, and I threw myself into my writing. When I was 10, my parents really wanted me and my brother to have a really good life, so we moved to the United States. My escape came a couple of years later in one of those. Remember the Try Us AOL 90-hour CDs? One of those. So I threw myself into writing, but I also got really, really good at lying. Really good. To my parents, to strangers, to my teachers, so that I could have a slimmer of escape during the day. So, sorry. So I kept throwing myself into writing, but the thing with AOL was that, you know how some people use the internet to kind of escape their own life and to go ahead and kind of maybe lie a little bit? I used the internet to practice honesty, to practice truth, because I was really, really scared of my lies becoming my truth. Were these conversations even real? Was my life even real? So I kept writing, and that evolved into poetry and conversations that I shouldn't have been having in chat rooms with people, and that evolved into blogging, which evolved into my career. And I am one of those oversharers. My friends will tell you that our conversations will show up on blogs and Facebook and Twitter, and they'll be like, why do you share so much of yourself? Why are you so fucking honest and so raw? And I tell them that I'm the memory keeper. The reason I do it is because our lives are flying by us in 140 character increments, and we need to preserve them. But there's a darker truth. There's a darker truth that I don't tell my friends. There's a darker truth that I haven't said before this moment on this stage, except for the 100 times that I practiced this, and I already screwed it up, so, you know, good times. So I don't trust my brain. I wake up every morning wondering if I'm going to wake up in the bed that I went to sleep in, or if I'm going to wake up in the apartment back in Turkey, in my grandmother's apartment, if I'm going to wake up in that bathroom, if I'm going to wake up in our apartment back in the day, back in Maryland. So I write, because that's how I practice honesty. That's how I keep myself in check, and that's how I remember the moments. Because I write so that if that day comes, that my brain does betray me, I want the people closest to me to recognize me through my writing. I want them to know my voice so that they can recognize my silent pleas for help when my brain just goes ahead and keeps me pinned down, and I can't scream. So I pray that those closest to me will see me and hear my silent pleas for help in the way I write, in the way I overshare, in my silence. So until the day that I can't write anymore, I keep leading onto the stage. I practice honesty, which is so much fun when you're trying to date, let me tell you. And I just keep writing and writing until the day I can't anymore. And I really, really hope that you can also practice that honesty in your lives, and those closest to you will recognize your voice. Thank you.